Hello there, my name's Tom Crandall from GearMashers, and today we're taking a look at Smallrig's Half Cage for the Sony A7 III. With the half cage, it's quick release, which is amazing. All these other cages I have on here are sort of permanent solutions. This is not. This has got the quick release. So the way it works is you have a lever on the bottom and you push the lever forward. That unlocks the camera, but they also added a safety feature. So you have a safety latch here so that the camera can't accidentally eject out from the cage. So you hold that down and now you can bring the camera out and you can start taking pictures as needed, or if you wanted to, you could just leave the camera in the cage and take pictures using the cage. Now, the reason why you can do that is because the right side of the camera is fully accessible. You don't have any issues with having to reach a finger around the cage or anything like that. Feels real comfortable. And what's also sort of cool is you can use the cage as sort of a handle as well. So if I wanted to take pictures, I could do that as well. It comes with a NATO Rail, so I can add handles to it. So in this particular case, I have a NATO Rail compatible handle, and now I can use the camera for doing interviews. I have my Video Mic Pro Plus microphone on here, which is also sort of cool. Just a side note, the Plus, what's neat about this one is once it's plugged into the microphone port, if I turn on my camera, it turns on the microphone. If I turn off my camera, it also turns off the microphone. And what happens a lot with, say, the Pro or some other microphones is often when you turn off your camera, you forget to turn off the microphone, and then all of a sudden the batteries get drained and then you don't have a microphone to use anymore. So I love that aspect. But anyway, getting back to the cage, so you have that NATO rail so you can attach the handle and stuff like that, but it also makes it super easy to break down. So I can remove the handle and my microphone. Now I just have the cage. And the cage really doesn't take up a lot of space around the camera. So if I have my camera in my bag, I don't really need to remove the cage. I can take pictures with the cage on. It's super comfortable. On the side here, you have full access to all the doors. And on the bottom, you have full access to the battery. So I can pop up the battery door here, pop out a battery. The cage doesn't get in the way, which is nice. And then the button on the front here to remove lenses and things like that, the cage doesn't get in that way. If you're using Metabones, you have two Metabone holes here, so you can put your Metabones adapter or whatever. I don't use that, but anyway. The rear screen, you can pop that up. The cage doesn't get in the way. So all in all, the cage is really good. You can also add adapters. So I have my Manfrotto plate. This is a quick release plate. So again, I can put it on a tripod, monopod, and so that's really nice. But all in all, I just absolutely love this cage. Super nice. With the full cage, I put a handle on the side here. But obviously, if the handle's on the side, trying to take pictures is a pain. So you're wanting to have to take the camera out. And the other issue with the cage I had is when I put the camera in, it is a pretty tight fit around the camera. So a lot of times you're having to take the lens off. So this cage just didn't work for me because a lot of people only have one camera, and if you're having it permanently in a cage, it can be a pain. With the Zucato's cage, one of the issues is, again, you're having to bring your finger around the cage in order to take a picture. Now, I haven't tried this yet, but you can take off this section, at least the top section here, so it would turn the cage into more of a half cage, which may work for me, but we'll have to see. This cage was super, super tight on the Sony A7 III, so it just didn't work for me because I didn't want to have a permanent solution for a cage, and I think the way they designed this was more of a permanent solution. So going back, when I'm doing interviews and stuff like that, I'll probably have a handle on the cage. So it looks something like this. I might also add a monitor. So I might just use that. Now, the way the camera is currently set up, I'm using the hot shoe on the camera to put the monitor on, but I might actually add a cold shoe somewhere on top of the railing system and then put the monitor on that, because if I wanted to remove the camera and the monitor is still attached to the hot shoe, obviously it's going to look like that. So I may want to put the monitor on the cage itself so that it's more of a permanent solution on the cage rather than on the camera. And again, if I need to break this down, I can just pull this off. I can unscrew this and put those in my camera bag or backpack. And now I just have the camera and I can start taking pictures. And so that's sort of how I'm going to be using this cage. And I highly recommend it. It's around $99. Check the video description and I'll have a link in there for the camera or for the cage so you can order that. I'll also have a link for the camera if you want to order the A7 III. I really like this camera. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps me get products in like this so that I can talk about them. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and I'll try to answer them. Also, check out GearMashers.com. I'll probably have an article on the cage and I'll go in a little bit more detail than I did in the video. But all in all, great cage, definitely worth it if you're into a cage. And so thank you so much and have a great day.